In this video, I'm going to show you how to make holographic Magic the Gathering proxies at home, like these ones.
First, I start by drawing my artwork directly into Adobe Photoshop. You can obviously use whatever artwork you have or source from online, with permission of course. After illustrating my characters, I like to design a fun frame to go on one side and then a more traditional frame to go on the other side. Once I'm done, I lay out my print file on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. 9 cards fit on a sheet. I have cut marks in the corners to help me trim the cards at the end. On the backs, I add a bleed layer just in case. I use the pin method to line up my sheets after printing, so on the back I have the corners fully visible to help me know where to cut, which I'll show later on in this video. So let's go ahead and print out our cards. So I'm using this holographic rainbow paper from Amazon. It doesn't really matter which brand, I order whichever one is on sale, and they've all been the same so far, but it's got this nice holographic sheen to it. So I'm using the Epson EcoTake ET8550 printer. This has been a great universal printer for so many things. I've been doing art prints, photography prints, the Magic the Gathering cards, just any documents I may need. It's been fantastic. I fully recommend it. So once I put the paper in, it's going to ask me what kind of paper I put in. And I'm going to go ahead and switch this to 8.5 by 11, the letter size. And then I'm going to use the premium matte setting, which is a built-in setting that came with the printer. On my Photoshop screen here, I want to make sure that the media type matches what I just put into the printer. So it's going to be the photo matte paper. I'm feeding it from the rear tray, and I want to make sure that the quality is best. So the reason that I'm choosing to do the matte settings instead of the glossy settings, even though this is very glossy paper, is because the glossy settings put down way too much ink, so it kind of leaves like a tacky feeling after the cards are printed. So when I put it onto premium matte, it lays down less ink. I think the color still comes out fantastic, and it is not tacky at all, which has a much better feel to it. You're also welcome to play around with the settings or make your own. I just haven't put that much into making my own yet, so I've been using the standard factory settings that come with the printer. Here's how the front turned out, and now let's go ahead and print the back sheet. So basically what these cards are is it's a cardstock in the center, and then our front and back is the sticker paper. So we're going to go ahead and mount what we just printed onto the cardstock. So for the cardstock, we're going to be using this Astro Brights cardstock in Eclipse Black. It's a 65-pound cardstock. So you can see here, the card on the right is a real Magic card, and the card on the left is my proxy. So it's very, very, very minimal that these end up being slightly thicker than a traditional Magic card. I know some people really, really want to be like exactly the same thickness as a Magic card for their proxies, and that's perfectly cool. A lot of people don't care. I'm one of the people that don't care. I always think that like if you want the card to be exactly like the real card, just buy the real card. So it doesn't really bother me. But if you want to do this method and have it be closer to the card on the right, there is a 32-pound black cardstock that you could get, which will put you at almost exactly the same as a Magic card. It just ends up being like flimsier. So I really like the thickness and bendability of this cardstock. So I'm going to keep using this stock, but if you don't want to do it, don't do this method. So now we're going to go ahead and take our cardstock, and I'm going to take my front print. Let me put the back to the side for a second. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and peel back just the bottom layer. And what this is going to do is it's going to let you line it up without sticking down the whole piece. So I'm going to go ahead and lift that up, put this down, and you will notice that my printer did catch up on the side of the paper a little bit, but it's no reason why we can't use like the tops of the cards. And the bottom still looks okay for me. So I'm going to go ahead and line up the top, and then the bottom has that like 1/2 inch so it doesn't stick. So I'm going to line up my tops, go ahead and hold my hand down, and then this side is open, so I could go ahead and stick that down. And then now what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to slowly peel back the backing paper while smoothing down the front. And for smoothing, you can use, I have like this vinyl installing one that I put a piece of felt on so that the front doesn't get scratched up. You can use that. I have a print brayer. So you can roll like that while you're putting it on. Lately, I've just been using my finger, and it's been perfectly fine. Sometimes it makes an obnoxious squeaking noise, but You know, it bothers my dogs, but not me. So I'm just going to go ahead and smooth that down while I'm pulling the backing paper. And it doesn't have to be perfect to the sheet. I know we lined it up for the most part, but we're going to line up the backs using the pin method. So it's not a huge deal if your pieces aren't straight on the black paper. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and line up the back. So I have these cut marks on there to help me trim, and also the corner. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take something sharp. I've got this compass that's got this pointy edge. I'm going to go ahead and use that. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and poke a hole directly in the corner, which the cut marks will help. Okay, directly in the corner. And then you can see on the back side, you can see the pinhole. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the back, which I had put these extra little tick marks in there to help me cut it properly. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the corner off so I can just see my card corner. And this is because I have bleed on there, so without the bleed, or without the corners being cut like this, I wouldn't really know where the true corner is with the bleed. I would just have to guess. So that just makes it easier. So now what I'm going to do is, instead of peeling back the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and peel back a 1/2 inch at the top. And this is so I can line up the corners without having to worry about the paper sticking. It's a little bit more forgiving. So I'm going to peel back about 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my corner side down here and line up the corners with the pinhole. There we go. And then put my hand here to hold it, flatten the sheet out, and then the top part I had sticky already, that 1/2 inch, so I can just press it down and that'll be lined up. So the same thing as the front. I'm going to go ahead and slowly peel back backing paper while smoothing down the front. And we want to make sure that there any crumbs or anything, any little lints or stuff is brushed off the paper. So now to trim, I am using a Fisker's self-sharpening paper cutter here. And I'm going to trim from the front because that is what we have everything lined up to, and the bleed is on the back just in case things were a little bit off. So here's my cutout cards, and my final step is going to be rounding out these corners. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Kodomaru Pro corner cutter that I found on Amazon. It comes with 3 different sizes, and I'm going to go ahead and use the small one. So that goes and puts a nice round edges on the corner. So there you go. Here's our final card. We've got the front and we've got the back. I always like to put a fun frame on one side and then like a more traditional frame on the other side. So yeah, like and subscribe for more Magic the Gathering proxy content and art content. I've done a High Perfect Morkant, Shieldred the Apocalypse, Hexing Squelcher, Shieldred Whispering one, Elish Norn Mother of Machines, and starting to do a dog token series where I do every breed of dog, which is going to take forever, but started with Huskies because I have Huskies. And of course I will pay the dog tax, so here is a fish for Atlas and a fish for Atlas again, and a fish for Atlas again. Zenith, come on. Come on, up your game. Ready? Ready? Atlas, go that way. Here you go. And a fish for Zenith. I'll go get him some more. All right, thanks for watching, and have a great day.